everybody. Welcome to the Future Forecasting Group. I'm Sean Mahoney, and I'm here with our rock star remote viewing team. We have Daz, Dick, Edward, and Naeem. Derek is out with a concert for his kid tonight for some Christmas things. So we pre-recorded his going through his session, and we'll be showing that here included in the video, but he won't be in the discussion. So today's date is the 29th of November, and we're going to be going through our November hits. I'm going to share my screen. So a lot of hits. You guys, I think there were maybe 3 things that I couldn't find a corroborating news story for, but we're going to be going through all this in detail. But look at all those green check marks. You guys are knocking it out of the park here. So this first one, this sea to land attack, this may be something that's going to be coming up here in the next month, but I didn't really find anything. And please, subscribers, if you know of a news story that matches these, please feel free to comment and send it in to us. We always like seeing your guys' finds in this area. But yeah, this seems plausible for everything going on in the Middle East, but don't think it happened this time. This was an interesting one. Planes grounded in closed airspace. Both Dick and Edward had made comments on this. Well, guess what? There was a news article this month about why planes are being grounded for all the different weather conditions. And they blamed it on climate change, which, make of that what you will. But apparently 2,000 or 20,000 flights were canceled within a single week with all the wildfires that we had. And so this was a news article from November, the 15th. So it was a hit. Now, 2 of you guys had tunnels about some sort of a drilling or mining incident. Well, in India, there was a tunnel that collapsed and 41 construction workers had to be rescued. Do believe there were some fatalities in there. But yeah, they were trapped for 17 days. So this was a huge news story here. So both Dick and Edward had fire. Dick got his people being burned, and Edward said it had maybe something to do with a furnace. There were 3 casualties in a New York fire down in Brooklyn. Didn't say whether it was the furnace or not, but it fit with a lot of the data you guys had. So I wanted to put that in there. Explosions. Both Derek, Dick, and Naeem had explosions. Explosions galore. And there were a lot this month. We had our attack at the, not an attack. It was a car that exploded at the Canadian border by Niagara Falls. It was suspected as a terrorist attack, but then later ruled out. And then we had our Middle East fun stuff going on with airstrikes and stuff like that, which fit the data you guys had. A lot of the military stuff that you guys had, with everything going on, lots of hits here. And there's some more artwork from Dick. But yeah, so we had our airstrikes tied to Iran. This one was really interesting. Edward, you had ocean technology for a new sea warfare systems. And look at this from, let's see, what date was this? November 24th. Chinese submarines, the first to exploit new stealth technology. So sea warfare is evolving. What are the odds you're going to get an article on that any given month? And Edward predicted it. Naeem, you had a really good one here with your paratroopers. IDF paratroopers raid Hamas military intelligence headquarters. I honestly didn't know they still use paratroopers, but yeah. And then here's the tanks from the Israel-Hamas war. They brought in the tanks. We had our ship incident here from Daz and Dick. So check this out. Missiles fired from Yemen towards a U.S. warship that responded to an attack on a commercial tanker. The missiles did miss, so there was no damage, but yeah. And I mean, look at that sketch. You got the missiles coming and going in the water. And there's the ship. And here's some more on, let's see, U.S. warship shoots down and attack drones over Red Sea. This is a different incident. Terrorist hostage situations. So yeah, both Daz and Naeem had something going on with a hostage situation. And look at this. Israel releases 39 Palestinian prisoners from Israeli prisons. Crypto's up. Daz, Derek, and Naeem. I had a lot of articles to choose from there. Why Bitcoin is surging again. Ships near miss in altercation. So this is the Pentagon saying the Somali pirates likely behind the seizure of a commercial ship near Yemen. 5 people did board this ship, tried to take control, but they couldn't. The U.S. responded and chased them away. So it was a near miss. It's not quite how you drew it here, Daz, but it was a near miss at sea, and it fit with the story. Biden in trouble. There was actually a number of articles when I searched on Biden in trouble that came up in November. This is one from CNN, but there was a lot of stuff on that. So this attack on a symbolic location, I thought this was interesting. You got this sketch that looks like a rainbow, Daz. And guess what? This bridge is called the Rainbow Bridge. So I thought that was interesting. And this is where that car exploded with the couple in it. And they thought it was a terrorist attack, but they later ruled it out. House Speaker shock. We have our new House Speaker here in the U.S. And there was some sort of a never before attempted budget proposal that went through to avert the government shutdown again. And so there was a lot of political discussion on that. So I thought that fit with what Daz was getting here. This one was really interesting too. So Derek said there's a rocket breaking free from the Earth's atmosphere, and that's going to be news. And I was thinking to myself, why in the world would a rocket breaking the atmosphere be news? Because that happens every month, right? Well, guess what? It was in the news because this is the first recorded incident of space warfare. So a rocket launched from Yemen came into Israel and they shot it down. And so here's the article saying space warfare is here because the projectile left the Earth's orbit and then re-entered. So that's why it was newsworthy. And I thought that was really cool. So a declaration signing. Derek had a declaration signing and he got EU or UN. Well, look at this. UN and Africa, African Union signed a human rights agreement. Football disappointment. This is also kind of interesting because I'm like, okay, why would this be newsworthy? I mean, football stuff happens all the time. People win, people lose. There's disappointment. Well, just this month, because we're halfway through the football season, they put out their 2023 NFL all disappointment team. And so what they do is they go through all of the players who are the biggest disappointments to their teams because of how they performed this year versus how they performed last year and what was expected out of them from the drafts and the trades and all that. And so, they went through a bunch of different players from teams that just aren't performing well this year. And they called it the all disappointment team. And I thought that was kind of funny because Derek was talking about football disappointment. Financial markets drop. That was from Derek. And yes, they are talking. It's not a matter of will the stock market crash, but when. This one is a really good one because it's so oddly specific. So Derek said twins would have some sort of a gene therapy or cellular therapy that would change the outcome before they're born. Now, that is incredibly specific and kind of out there, right? Well, guess what? Let's see. This is from November 16th, 2023. These twins were diagnosed with a rare condition and they had an in utero blood transfusion, which saved their lives. Not only is it a good story, but it's a very unique story. And it was predicted here by Derek. Nice work, Derek. Oil facility attack. Well, up in, White Lake? Yeah, White Lake, Michigan, an oil refinery exploded. I haven't seen into what the cause was, if it's an accident or terror, but definitely made the news about an oil facility. And so in it here, Dick has it exploding, just like in the video. Flood. El Nino worst flooding has Somalia in a state of emergency. I also saw there was flooding in Florida this month. So lots of flooding going on. Earthquakes and volcanoes, there's quite a few of these going on with the Earth's crust being stressed. This one here is talking about Iceland is bracing for a volcanic eruption. Protests going out of control. Again, lots of stuff going on with protests across the globe right now. But this one here is on Capitol Police confronting fallout from the violent protest at the Democratic headquarters. So we didn't have anything on this. And again, subscribers, if you are aware of something, I couldn't find anything in my searching, but Dick said that there would be some sort of revelation about history with some shocking new details that would kind of shed a new light on things. Now, I couldn't find anything, but if you guys are aware of anything that's come out here in the last month or so, let us know in the comments. We'd love to see that. Lights in the sky. Apparently it was Starlink satellites, but yeah, this was in, I want to say Florida, but people are like, hey, what are these lights in the sky? It was in the news and Dick saw it. Edward, another really oddly specific one. How often do you see balloons in the news? Unfortunately, 5 souls lost their earthly lives here. A balloon, something happened with the balloon. I don't know what, but it fell from the sky and 5 people died. Here's the balloon kind of all shriveled up as it was falling. So very unfortunate accident, but yeah, Edward, you had that one. I didn't see anything on Morgan Freeman for this month. He has had health issues in the past, which came up in my search, but nothing from November. So maybe stay tuned for December. Hopefully Morgan's going to be okay. Sinkhole. Busch Gardens had a wastewater pond dump 2.5 million gallons. I think this kind of qualifies as a mudslide too, way that the pond dumped with the mud. But yeah, Edward got a good hit there. And then people fleeing air toxins, another very specific one. Texas chemical plant explodes, causing fire and triggers evacuations. And chemical plants, you don't want to be around breathing that stuff. The RICO case, yeah, there's more drama going on here, trying to keep politicians that don't follow and toe the line. They want to get them out. So that seems to be what's going on here. The climate report. There was a 5th national climate assessment released. I didn't read through it because I wanted to value my time and not fall asleep. But so I don't know exactly if they have anything about the Cuba migration in there, but there was a climate report that came out this month. The high level meeting and deal, because this had to deal with debt. The best thing that I could fit to it was the Fed meeting. They were looking at possibly raising the rates, and they're very, very tied to the debt. So this is the best fit that I could find. It does fit with the viewing, so put it in there. Netanyahu news, yes, lots of stuff going on with Netanyahu with the Israeli and Hamas conflict. Naeem, you got your rabbits. Albany rabbit invasion sees Emu Point local scrambling to build pest-proof fences. There they are. Plane crash, not from war.
I don't know which ears. I don't know which ears I like better, the rabbits or Netanyahu's from Dick's joint.
Yeah, yeah. So we had a Navy plane go off the runway, landed in the ocean. 9 aboard escaped unharmed, thank goodness. But there's the plane, and it's not from war. Structure collapse. This is that tunnel collapse in India, and I really want to say this seems to fit with what you got, Naeem. Yeah. So I'm not sure if there's a better fitting one, but this really seemed to fit from what I saw. So that's what I have here for the feedback. What do you guys think? Any closing thoughts?
That was a lot. That was a lot of them there.
That was
a lot.
I have to say my favorite is Derek's twins. That's just so bizarre and out there, but yet he put it in, it just, yeah. I was like, whoa.
Wasn't any major earth-shaking event that we got or missed. So it was kind of a percolating.
Yeah. I think that the miners in the tunnel, I think that's a great hit. I mean, stories like that don't happen very often. And that one was like top of the news most of the month. They kept reporting about that story.
That was a really good one, Naeem. Good job.
I guess, yeah, mine was kind of a hit, but I think Derek really got
was it Derek? I thought it was yours. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
No, Derek had the miners and you had people in a tunnel. I think those ones were better hits. Yeah.
Yeah. So really great work, guys. Looking forward to seeing what you hit in December.
and for these, we'll keep an eye out because some of these are a little over the horizon. It's not within the calendar month. Sometimes they pop up a few months later. So keep them active.
Absolutely.
Keep them on the books.
Okay. Well,
all right.
We'll sign off
Good
here
one.
For now. And be sure to tune in and watch the December world events here coming up.